Hello children, today we are going to discuss the topic pressure in our 8th standard science chapter. Up till now we have completed and seen what is force, different types of force, etc. And today we are going to come on to the topic of pressure. Now what is pressure? For that we can come to the point that with examples, you must have observed the tire of any two-wheeler or four-wheeler also. You can see getting pressurized. If there is too much of weight on it, suppose a truck it is, you can see the pressure is coming on the tires. And therefore, when too much heavy objects are there, more tires are also added so that they do not get flattened because of the pressure of this object, whatever kept in it. So the air-filled machine has a pressure. In football also, we are filling in with the air that shows pressure, indicating dial or a digital meter. In vehicle tires also, we are filling air in the petrol pumps. There also the reading is shown on the digital meter. Now, the machine fills the pressure to a certain value. You are aware that a force has to be applied for filling air in the bicycle tire with a hand pump. By applying force, air pressure is increased and then the air is pushed into the tire, and force and pressure that way are related. We are applying force and pressure is generated. Pressure is falling upon certain object where we want, isn't it? We can take some more example like sharp pointed nails and push them into a wooden plank. When we use a hammer and push the nail into a wood plank or in the wall also, if you must have seen. Here, when pressing the drawing pin into the drawing board, they get into the board very easily by applying a force using the thumb. One can push the pin into the board. All pins also can be pushed into the simple wooden board. But if you have to put the nail in the wall, you have to use a hammer and push the nail into the wall. So from these experiments, we can see that the nail easily penetrates into the wood from its pointed end. Now, a nail or a ball pin is this structure. It has one pointed end and one blunt end. If we try to put this nail from this head side into the wall and hammer it from downside, do you think it is going to enter the wall? Obviously not. Okay, but we take it in opposite direction. This is your wall, and here we use a hammer to push the nail into the wall. In that case, the pointed tip easily enters the wall. But this head side of the nail will never be able to easily go into the wall or wooden plank wherever we want to put the nail. From this, it is understood that area of the substance entering into the other substance by applying pressure is by applying force and generating pressure is also very important. We have also seen some more examples like a knife. If the knife is blunt, it will not cut your fruits or vegetables easily. We need a sharp-edged knife. This is your knife. Its end should be sharp. Otherwise, you cannot cut any vegetable or fruit with the help. From this blunt end, if we cut, it will never get cut, isn't it? Otherwise, if it is very ripe, it will get crushed. But if we want to cut an apple, we need to have a sharp knife. The edge of the knife, which is going to enter into the fruit, should be sharp edge. Why this blunt end could not enter into your vegetable or your fruit? Because you see, from these examples, we can understand the force is applied and the area is also playing some role in creating pressure. If area is smaller and sharp, it will easily show the effect. But if the area is blunt, in that case, it will not insert very easily by applying pressure. So from these two factors, we can make up a definition for pressure, that the force is exerted perpendicularly on a unit area is called as pressure. So you see, more the force, more will be the pressure. Therefore, pressure is directly proportional to force. Less the force, less will be the pressure. On the other hand, now area. Smaller the area, more pressure will be seen. Broader, bigger the area, less pressure will be seen after applying the force. So this is inversely proportional to area. So you see, pressure is directly proportional to force. More the force, more the area, less the force, less the area. And pressure is inversely proportional to area. Less the area, more will be the pressure. And more the area, less will be the pressure. Now, combining these two factors, we can get a proper equation for pressure. Pressure is equal to force, which is directly proportional, divided by area, which is inversely proportional. Okay, this formula you have to learn and remember always before you solve the problems related to this topic. So pressure is equal to force divided by area on which the force is being applied. Okay. Now, if area is increased, pressure reduces for the same force, and if the area decreases, the pressure increases for the same force. Here again we can take an example. Due to natural adaptation, the bottom surface of the camel's feet. You all know that camel is called as the ship of the desert. In sand also they can move very smoothly and easily. Because of certain adaptations in their body, what happened? The bottom surface of the camel's feet are broad. Hence, the camel's weight is exerted on a larger area and the pressure on the sand is reduced. So, the camel body is not going to insert deep into the sand in the desert area. This is why the camel's feet do not penetrate deep into the sand and it becomes easy to walk on the sandy area, isn't it? Now, what can we discuss about pressure that is on the solids it is different, pressure of liquids is different, and gas pressure is different. So pressure are of variety types we can classify into. Now pressure on solids, if we discuss, we all daily observe certain things like that. If we take a plastic bottle and a long piece of glass tube on which a rubber balloon can be fitted, warm up one end of the glass tube and gently push in the bottle at about 5 centimeters from the bottom. To avoid water leakage, apply the molten wax on the sides of the glass tube. Now what we can do, fill water slowly in the bottle, and how the balloon will inflate, because air in the bottle is reduced. And what will happen, as we fill the bottle with water, the area for air in the bottle will reduce. And what will happen, the air from the balloon will be utilized. So the pressure of water acts on the side of the bottle as well. And we can see that water will enter into this nozzle and enter the balloon. Okay, this is a balloon and this is a bottle. As we fill in with water, after a certain limit, the water will start entering here because pressure will be created. One more example, earlier also we have discussed that if we take a bottle and make 3 holes, you make 3 holes in that bottle. In that case, what can happen, you see, we fill this bottle with water. It was observed that from the bottom end, the water spill was far away on the surface. Then from the middle hole, it fell little closer. And from the topmost hole, it fell very close to the bottle. So you can see the effect of pressure, water pressure that is being created due to this liquid in the bottle. So these are certain examples of pressure due to solids, pressure due to liquids, and gas pressure. Also, we know when we inflate a balloon by filling air from the mouth, in a pin is pricked into it, what will happen? Air will leak out and the balloon will come back to normal in its shape. There will be a hole in the balloon. It is released out like the liquid. Gas also is exerting pressure. Okay, so this was certain points related to pressure. Next class, we shall discuss about atmospheric pressure and how it works in our atmosphere. So learn this formula for pressure and get ready to solve the problems. Okay, thank you. Bye all of you.